What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pace Studio here in Midtown Manhattan, New York City. We are joined by a very special guest right now. This is Mr. Kelsey Ayer. He records under the name Jaws of Love. Kelsey, thank you so much for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. So Kelsey is a member of the great LA band Local Natives. That's where you may have heard his music before. But he now records under this new moniker, Jaws of Love. It's a solo project, and his first album under that name just came out in the fall. It's called Tasha Sits Close to the Piano. And Kelsey right now is close to the piano.
I am.
And we're going to hear some songs from the record. So tell me a little bit about the first one you're going to do for us today.
So this song closes out the record. It's called Nightlight. I wrote it kind of about when you wake up in the middle of the night and you don't know where you are, and you go from like blissful dreaming to like the nightmare that is reality.
Nice.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
For sure.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about this record. You've been in this band for some years now. Are these songs that you have been sort of collecting all along the way, or was this kind of more a spontaneous thing?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. Yeah, I think so. I'm part of one of three songwriters in Local Natives, and we're writing songs all the time. So I had a bunch of songs that maybe half the record was songs that didn't work out for Local Natives, and the other half were just songs that I always knew were going to be intended for something else at some point.
Yeah.
And then I just had like a few days off last summer or a year and a half ago, and just decided to go to the studio and mess around. And that's kind of what kicked it all off.
Yeah. Well, listening to the record, one thing I immediately sort of noticed about it was that it feels very like well conceived, well produced, like there's a lot of thought behind it, but it also has this very kind of unhurried, kind of almost a casual feel to it. Was that something you were trying to achieve, or is that just sort of how these things sort of came out?
Well, I find that like some of the hardest, I think most of the hard work with songs is like the melodies and lyrics and just like having it exist like in a form that feels good just on like a piano or guitar. And I had all these songs already done. So I ended up spending a relatively small amount of time in the studio kind of bringing them all to life. I think 8 days in total. And then it was just kind of like fun. This guy, Michael Harris, who works at Electrovox Studios, we just kind of ended up joining in like some sort of hive mind. And like he kind of could finish my sentence, so to speak, while we were recording. So I found the right dude, and the two of us, we just like attacked it and just went really, really fast and tried to let try to just stick with momentum, and just like even if there's like mistakes or even if there was something that I hadn't intended right away, just like let it go. And then a lot of those exact things are the things that are my favorites my favorite moments on the record, are things I didn't intend.
It's funny, that's something that I hear a lot here in the studio, and it seems to be, when you're creating art, it's what is spontaneous or unintended or some mistake that winds up kind of having the magic maybe that other things lack or don't have naturally as much.
Sure. Well, I mean, you spend so much time like obsessing over a song and this is how it should go in your head, and then you like bring it to the forefront and it doesn't, like, what you thought was going to be amazing ends up not being as amazing, and then like this other new thing. I think that's the trick, is to like have a plan and just be ready to throw the plan out.
Yeah. I think that may be the trick to basically everything.
Sure, yeah. Living life. Yeah.
Living life. Doing any kind of art.
Yeah.
Making any kind of plan.
Yeah.
So cool. Tell me, you're gonna do a few more from this record. Tell me a little bit about the next one you're gonna do.
This song is called Shrink. I actually had it instrumentally, and I tried to put it together for a friend was like making a movie, and I kind of like pitched it like, like, because he asked me for some songs. It didn't work out, but I don't know. I like to think that was like some sort of influence on it. But yeah, I think it's maybe more the most kind of dark, ghostly song on the record.
Cool.
Yeah, this is called Shrink.
Thank you very much, Kelsey.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. So as far as like the content of the record, Jaws of Love is a song on the record, as well as the name of this project.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, it's funny. It's like it's a phrase that feels to me as much comforting as terrifying.
Yeah.
Like the jaws of love sounds like something that will kill you, but it also sounds like something that will hold you in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of a sense I got from the record as I was listening to it. It's got kind of a melancholy sound to it in general, but when I was really sort of listening closely, a lot of these songs have a comforting sense about them, I thought, not all doom and gloom.
Right.
Is that sort of what you were going for, or is that what I'm sort of supposed to be taken out of it?
Yeah, I think so. I think that like the whole record is sort of I think like kind of a meditation on love and marriage and stuff. I've not been married that long, only 5 years. So, are you married?
I am.
Oh, okay.
About the same amount of time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, I used to think I could never write a love song that was about like romantic, like exuberant love. I always found in myself, they always made me feel like, oh, it's like the cheesiest thing ever.
Yeah.
And I have the greatest respect for people who can do it well. But with this record, I ended up having all these songs that were like kind of in the middle, because my relationship with my wife, I think is great and amazing, and I think we're in an amazing place. But then there's all those like in between spots, like those nuanced moments of like panic or miscommunication or something goes wrong, and it's just kind of the nature of being in a relationship. And so I think a lot of the album can be like that, where you're kind of teetering on the edge of like maybe like I'm good, I'm feeling really nice, or I'm like, oh, I'm spinning out of control or something.
Right, I'm screwing this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of like when you're high, and you're sitting in the corner and you're like, I'm cool. I gotta get out. No, I'm good.
Yeah, I think that's right. Marriage is basically like being high.
Yeah.
I think we've basically nailed it.
Sure.
After millennia, there it is.
I think so. Legalize it.
Yeah,
come on.
Right. All should be legal.
Yeah.
All of it.
Let's get real.
That's right. So you're gonna do a couple more for us from Tasha Sits Close to the Piano, which I'll ask you a little bit about later.
Cool.
Just the title. Well, yeah. Anyway, tell me a little bit about this next one.
So this song, so the whole album is almost kind of like a love letter from me to, it's a lot about my marriage and that relationship, but also my relationship with the piano. It's the instrument that I found to be the most comfortable and just like the most dynamic, thrilling way to write and express myself musically. So the whole record is like really all centers around the piano. But I wanted some sort of a break or a palate cleanser. So this is towards the end of the record. And it's all an acoustic guitar. I basically try to do my like best Jose Gonzalez impression. I'm like a huge fan of his, so I try to tap my foot while I recorded the song.
Yeah, sorry about the rug. It's not going to happen.
Oh,
here.
right, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it works without the tap too. Thank God.
Good. Yeah.
So this song is called "Love Me Like I'm Gone." I'm always thinking of you when I'm up this high. I see me at your funeral. I see you at mine. I get embarrassed and rub my eyes. This always happens every flight. I see the plane going down, counting the seconds of my life. I want you to love me like I'm gone. Ooh. You're on the veranda painting. Early morning, blurry eyes. I knock the face off the shelf. Dog jumps, baby cries. You just smile 'cause you know that things can break but we stay alive. I want you to love me like I'm gone. The way that I love you when you're gone. I want you to love me like I'm gone. The way that I love you when you're gone.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, man. So I think so. I was gonna ask you because as I was reading about the record and it just sort of I mentioned it before. The name of this record is Tasha Sits Close to the Piano. At first, I thought the name of the record was Jaws of Love, and then I was sort of reading through it and looking at what I had in front of me, and I was like, oh, it's this other thing. Does that have like a literal? It sounds like it would have a literal meaning.
So Tasha is our husky. And her paw is in my hand on the cover of the album.
Right.
We've had her for like 3 years, and my wife and I are both obsessed with her. And Jaws of Love, that's the name started with that song, and then I just loved the imagery so much, just the thought of it so much that I just wanted to call the whole project Jaws of Love. I think it just felt so fitting to me, given the mood and tone of the record. But like, I don't know, we had fun like using some of Tasha's imagery with like the artwork. And so the album title was titled by my wife because I'll be playing piano, and no matter where Tasha is in the apartment, 2 minutes, 3 minutes later, she'll just be like on her back by the piano, like every time without fail. Sometimes she won't eat her food, and I go and play the piano, and then she starts eating. And it's a pretty like crazy, like you'd have to see it to believe it. Like I feel like I'm, it sounds like kind of unbelievable.
And it's just the piano. Like if you're sitting with the acoustic guitar, she no dice.
I don't think she likes the acoustic guitar. She kind of like barks at me, but she loves the piano, and she's always like sitting there. Sometimes when I'm on tour, my wife will play like a local native song where I'm singing, and then she'll start eating again. It's like it's insane. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
I can't say I don't like it.
Yeah, no, she sounds like a proper muse.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Cool. So we're lucky enough to get one more song, the rare fourth song, the encore at the Pace Studio.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about
this wanted it.
Last one you're going to do.
This song is called Hawaiian License Plates. It's on the record, kind of one of the more beat-oriented songs on like piano and soft synths and stuff, but I've created an acoustic version of it for you guys. It's kind of about a trip my wife and I took to Hawaii a couple of years ago.
All right.
I don't believe your love, your love, your love, your love is all you see.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Everybody, this is Kelsey Ayer. He records under the name Jaws of Love. And the new record, his first record, is called Tasha Sits Close to the Piano. You're on tour right now. You got a show coming up tonight here in the city in Brooklyn at the Park Church Co-op.
That's right. Yeah.
And some more dates coming up, I believe.
I'm playing Boston tomorrow, and that's the last show of this East Coast tour I'm on. And then I'm playing Los Angeles in January next year and going overseas for a few dates next year.
Cool. And everyone can find those dates on jawsoflove.com,
Yeah.
as well as some music to listen to. And definitely pick up Tasha Sits Close to the Piano. Kelsey, thank you so much for coming to Paste and playing in our studios for it today, man.
Sure.
Yeah. Please come back and play again anytime, all right?
I will.
All right.